Hello, Wandering Beekeeper. Welcome. This is the first in a series of videos of an aquatic campaign of Minecraft. I have spoken a lot about the aquatic work that I've done. This uses the Origins mod. All credit where credit is due. There should probably be a link to the website somewhere in the comments, maybe. I'll try and figure that out. Let's have a look around. This is the back end of a natural cave that I redid a bit. Stone brick and smooth stone. I lowered the original floor so that I could drop in more storage and add an output hopper. Yes, the kelp is everlasting around here, constantly processing kelp. So yes, I have an auto furnace that's fed with coal block. You'll see it's actually very easy for the materials to be legitimate. There's the opportunity for mineral collection underwater is tremendous. Weeping obsidian just for decorative purposes, same with the tile. I mean, it was also relentlessly gray. Anvil, loom, that was a bit of a failure. Shame on that. Second one over here is currently doing iron, but it does food and it'll do glass and, whatever else I want to throw in there. I feed these input chests by hand with whatever I've collected anytime I go out. Alchemy corner over here, that works underwater, although I did have to cheat on the blaze powder. Was rather disappointed in that, but the nether is simply not survivable for an aquatic without significant potions, enchantments, whatever. It was not feasible. This is the tools locker. Stuff that I'm likely to need on a regular basis. A lot of emeralds because I do a lot of trading with the surface world. This was originally a survival world set to normal difficulty, so this whole thing was built with drownies and stuff, spawning here and there. Hence the significant use of sea lanterns. I got tired of going and taking apart ocean monuments for those, and I have freely admit to having spawned those. The diorite was mined, but that's easy enough. Glass is processed. Well, you just saw the furnace. Door to keep the zombies out. Over here we have the enchanting pit. Now it's not going to work now, sadly. With the 1.18 update, bookshelves no longer feed to an enchanting table through water. This world was originally created in 1.16.5, at which point bookshelves worked through water as readily as air. I'm a little disappointed in that. I liked being able to just drop down into this enchanting area, be able to get to work and then just pop up and out. Navigation in this world is a thing. It is very three-dimensional, you will notice. It uses all four fingers and the thumb of the left hand, or at least for me it does. Because I have to have my thumb on the spacebar and a pinky on the shift key for vertical movement, and be thinking about where I'm going in 3 dimensions. Writable book, because I could. This was one of the early efforts. here. I put in a garden. The dirt, yeah, I brought it in. I brought it in from up above. I went out and scrounged up the seeds and so forth. It is an air environment, and as such, I'll start popping bubbles here while I'm in here. Spent some serious effort going out and finding a jungle area. There is natural irrigation here. The whole thing is within just a block or so of water, after all. The sea lanterns I originally thought these would do. They turned out to be too many blocks away from the veg and were not providing enough of a light level, so I had to add more sea lanterns inside the greenhouse. It looks a bit cluttered, but at least it works, and it does provide sufficient food stuff between that and the fish coming off of these blocks. Because you see, we're at the bottom of a crevasse. Bounce down to here, and we are at a level of 11, which in 1.16.5 is the lava level. That's where you were guaranteed to start encountering lava. This was already here when I got here, this whole swath of obsidian with the magma blocks, and I left it partly because these downdrafts suck in a lot of fish. And so collecting the fish off the magma blocks anytime I arrived or departed has been a bit of a thing. Yeah, as you can see, banners just don't work very well here. There's this whole airspace that they create, and it blocks the view of the banner. Oh, this one, by the way, was legitimately acquired from a pillager group that made the mistake of trying to pursue someone like in the water, and yeah, I was in the water. I've got a lovely trident here, and oh yes, whale song. That's a thing. Upper level. There's a landing ledge here so that you can be sure that you're lined up properly with the door to be able to go in. It's an airspace, so yeah, the time in here is limited. Just plain dirt floor. The lighting to keep creepers and such from spawning. Although I did still have slimes spawning in there every now and then. That was interesting, having a slime in with the chickens and having to go deal with it. Yes, I have a lot of sheep, but there are a lot of colors. This was an experiment that just didn't go well. I mean, I really did try, and I generated so much kelp. Because of course, when you're tunneling underwater, you have to maintain source block. And so there's all this kelp. Dig a little ways, seed it with kelp. Go in if you're carrying a lot of kelp so that you don't have to keep generating it. Yeah, that's also a thing. But it becomes exhausting. Okay, now there we go. Kicking in the accelerator is always a bit twitchy in the tunnel. Oh yes, my sprint swim speed is phenomenal. Welcome to the item sorter. This is the first item sorter I built underwater. Yes, I did in fact have a problem with drownies up until I set it to peaceful mode. The lighting is partly to keep creepers from spawning, and partly so that I can see what I'm doing, because as an aquatic, as a merling, to use the proper term in the Origins mod, I lose my night vision when I exit the water. And so without all the sea lanterns, it would be very dark in there indeed. I have a preference for using glass for separating off airspace from water. It's just sort of a thing for me. And so this is all glassed in. The hoppers come out through the glass and back in. This is one column of manual storage here, all neatly labeled as to what's in each box. Easy enough to just zip up and down. Oh, this is a thing. A difference in the item sorter. It's labeled at the top and bottom of the silo because I don't necessarily come into this area down here on the floor. I usually come into it more at this level where I'm dealing with the input hopper. And yeah, then I don't have to drop down so far to be able to see what's in each silo. Yes, there are a couple of auto furnaces, pretty standard. Smooth sandstone and brick. Oh dear, the brick. Clay is another thing that is incredibly plentiful. I've done so much stuff with brick because it's just been wildly available. Oh, the wood mostly comes from sunken ships. We'll talk about shipwrecking in a later video, maybe. Let's go have a look in here. White carpet down the middle, so that we've got a nice clear walkway, glassed in as needed, well lit, easy to hop up onto to program. Exit straight out into the water. And then down below we have the undercroft with all the hoppers. There is a rhythm and a progression, a specific order things get done in to build these that I found to be the most efficient, but it's going to be a long time before I need to build another wing. As you can see, we're here and there's a lot of empty silos. This is manual storage. Again, more manual storage. Only one chest because I haven't needed more. I'll add chests as I need them. Kelp for expanding the cavern, because this cavern is hollowed out. As you can see, it's very clearly. I've been working on it for quite some time. Here's the error box. And getting all this, I can cut about 3 blocks in, and then I have to kelp across the bottom and just wait for the kelp to grow, because that's an awful lot of kelp. Oh, hush. Oh, is this still set on survival mode? On normal difficulty, it might be. Oh, yes, it is. Look, I'm in need of food. Well, pardon me. Fish are, in fact, food. And I end up with so many tropical fish. Oh my. I just scooped them up off the magma blocks, ready to eat. Their snack food. So we've seen the item sorter. We have seen the agricultural efforts. I haven't seen anything spawn here. That's been interesting. Oh, hello. Couple of those. You get used to having fish come to visit. And so that gives you a tour of the basic facility. This is all built. Thank you, our guest performer. I will cut this short here. Let's go have a quick look here. If there's a thunderstorm, that's a fun thing. While it's raining, I can be on the surface without running out of air bubble, out of water bubble, whatever. And we can watch the thunderstorm. Oh, that was a good one. Kind of close. What you're seeing here are the navigational beacons that I've installed, and we'll come back to them in a later video because they really deserve an exploration all of their own. But I wanted to come up and look at the storm. Alright, it seems to be dying down. Let's go hit the bubble stream. Here's a neat little trick. You can use this as an express elevator. And then just step out of it. And away we go. So, we'll wrap it up here. There's a mining operation to look at. There's the navigational beacons that you saw out in the ocean. There's the road that leads through to the swamp and on to the Northwest Passage. That's quite a journey all of its own. So, possibility of a couple of more videos in this series. Let's see where it goes. For now, thank you for coming along on this part of the journey. I am the Wandering Beekeeper. Go well.